Mario Kart Wii is a very good racing game. It was the only Mario Kart game that released for the Wii. Each console has had their own Mario game, but this one's my personal favorite. I was born in the same year that this game released, so I played this game a lot. The games I've played the most were Mario Kart 7, 8, and Wii especially. So, there are 32 tracks in this game, and today I'm going to rank them all. Number 32, Yoshi Falls. So, Yoshi Falls is not that interesting of a track. I mean, I've always liked this one when I was younger, but first of all, Yoshi Falls is just a loop. And also, if you don't agree with my rankings, it's just my opinion, and your opinion doesn't matter. But anyway, let me get back to this track. So it's just a loop with 3 bridges and waterfalls, and it's not that exciting. Although, however, you can take 2 paths between the bridge and the waterfall. It's just a pretty boring track. Although, the scenery looks nice. Number 31, DS Desert Hills. So, this is not really an interesting track. I mean, I'm sorry about the DS courses, but they did not pick the best ones as priorities. I mean, do we really care about Desert Hills and Yoshi Falls? First of all, it's a desert track. I've never really liked desert tracks. I also like how it has, like, Super Mario Bros. 3 theming around it, like with the angry sun. But this is just a boring track, except for those few turns at the end. That's like the only interesting part of the whole track. Otherwise, this is something that I would never like to pick if I had the choice to pick it. Number 30, N64 Sherbert Land. So, Mario Kart Wii has a great track selection, except its retro selection is pretty mid. Well, at least just with these ones. So currently the retro games are currently missing. But anyway, about this track. It's an ice track, but it does not look the best. I mean, there are better ones like GBA Snowland, and also other ones, but it's not at the top of my head. But anyway, this is an okay track. It's just not something that I exactly like playing. I just don't like running into the penguins, and it doesn't really make me feel happy. It reminds me of January. And if you live in Wisconsin in January or anywhere in the Midwest, you know that's not good. Number 29, Mario Circuit 3 from the SNES. So, this course is okay, actually. I actually kind of like this. It's just like a bunch of twists and turns, so like, it's a Flame Runner Drifter's dream, if you like drifting. And there's that one shortcut that's at the end, and there's just one boost panel. So, it's not very exciting, not much to say about it. And there's some Oreo puddles spilt around everywhere. It's just kind of a boring track, but then again, it's from the SNES, so all those tracks are pretty boring. Number 28, Luigi Circuit. So finally, we have one that is not a retro track. This is the first Nitro track. And it makes sense because this is just the first track in the whole game, so it's not its fault that it's bad. I mean, I really like how it's Luigi themed, and it's kind of like a NASCAR raceway. In the middle of the Mushroom Kingdom, I really like the stadium feel, but I think the Mario Stadium Mario Kart 8 did it better. But this is just a boring track, although it's the first one, so you get used to like drifting, the first shortcuts, and yeah. Also, I really like how the Luigi statue can turn into a Mii if you're playing as a Mii. Number 27, Shy Guy Beach. So, Shy Guy Beach is one of the GBA tracks in this game, and it's not really that fun. I mean, it's a bad beach level. Like, it's pretty boring. You always have to watch out for those islands because you have to like hop in between them. The trick ramps are pretty boring. There's only like one shortcut. Actually, there's 2. And it's not really that fun of a track. Although, I really like the Shy Guys that fire the cannons, and then they land on you, and you have to watch out. That was actually pretty cool. And I think this is the only time that the crabs appear in this game. But the crabs are super annoying, so I'm glad that they don't appear anymore. Number 26, Mario Circuit. So, this is actually really nice Mario Circuit. I really like how there's a castle, but half of the track is just a straightaway. And it's nice that it's on the beach. There's like one shortcut. Actually, no, sorry, not on the beach. I mean, it's like on a little pond. There's that chain jump, which that chain jump's pretty annoying. But then again, so are all of the chain jumps. And this is actually a pretty okay track. But it's pretty basic. And if you're a biker, then you can wheelie a lot, especially in the beginning. Number 25, Moo Moo Meadows. So, Moo Moo Meadows is actually a pretty good track. Well, it's pretty good for the Mushroom Cup, if that's what I mean, because we're still in the lower half of the list. But anyway, it's just a pretty short track. It's all off-road. And you just have to watch out for cows, and then you take a trick ramp at the end, and that's pretty much it. Some people would say that's a ripoff of Moo Moo Farm, but this is better than Moo Moo Farm. Number 24, N64 Mario Raceway. So, this is actually a pretty good quote-unquote circuit track, because it's like a Mario circuit track, but it's more of a raceway. So, this track is pretty flat mostly. There's like the big pipe tunnel at the end. There's a lot of places that you can shroom through. So, that kind of makes it a little broken. Like, especially if you have a golden mushroom, you can like just drive through all the off-road, and that's pretty easy. And it's like, okay. I also like the face sponsors like the Yoshis and that. So, there's not much else to say about this track, as it's just pretty mid. Number 23, SNES Goes Valley. So, this is one of the other SNES tracks in the game, and it's okay, I would say. It's kind of scary, and it's difficult for the newcomers to the game. And there's like that one ramp shortcut that you can take, but it doesn't work for 50cc unless you have a mushroom. And then there's like the boost panel plus the little jump at the end with the item box. And there's booze everywhere, and there's like some item boxes, like a circle of item boxes in one area. So, it's like a short track, but it's okay, I would say. I mean, I would definitely come back to this track, as I like this track still, but, I mean, it's definitely not a fan favorite for me. Number 22, GameCube Mario Circuit. So, this is a track that I usually end up forgetting about, which that's pretty sad, because this is actually a pretty good track. In my opinion, I think that it's the best Mario Circuit in the whole series, and that's saying a lot, because it's only 22 on this list, but that's because this game has a lot of good courses. So, there's these piranha plants, there's like a bunch of bumps, there's a tunnel, and then there's a chain jump, and there's that one bridge at the end that you have to watch out. So, I'd say this is like a pretty fun track. Number 21, Dry Dry Ruins. For the longest time, I thought this one was called Dry Dry Desert, because I've been playing the Mario Kart 8 / GameCube Dry Dry Desert. But anyway, Dry Dry Ruins is better. So, this one you can drive through a pyramid, which that's actually really cool, and not many have done that. In fact, none of them have done that. The closest one was the DK Jungle one. But anyway, there's also like a bunch of like mummy statues. Pillars fall down, you can use them as trick ramps. There's a couple of shortcuts, including one up here to the left of the bridge, and also there is one at the end where you can cut through the sand instead of taking the turn. So, there's some shortcuts, and you can also do this one clip up here on the wall. And that's about it. The sand rises every lap, so you gotta watch out for that. Okay, that's all I have to say about Dry Dry Ruins. GBA Bowser Castle 3. I really wanted to put this one a little higher, because I really like it, but I know, there are 19 tracks that are better than this one. But, either way, notice how it's called Bowser Castle 3, not Bowser's Castle 3. So, Bowser doesn't own it, it's just like themed around him. But anyway, it feels very eerie, and it's actually pretty cool. I've actually always liked this track, and there's this one ultra shortcut up here. So, this track is actually really fun. It's also very long though. Well, not as long as like Rainbow Road. But anyway, we'll get to that one in a little bit. Number 19, Daisy Circuit. So, I've never really been a big fan of this course. I mean, it looks really pretty and all, but I just thought it was kind of boring for me. So, if Daisy had any fans, I'd be offending them, but nobody really likes Daisy. She's pretty annoying. But there's that really nice statue with her and Luigi, and her and Luigi again as a baby. So, that's actually pretty cool. There's that bridge, and you can see all your meat in it, which that's also pretty cool, but I've never been a fan, even though it's so pretty. They should honestly remake this one in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Booster Course Pass, or in Tour, because seeing this one in HD, that would look super cool. Number 18, Peach Beach. So, Peach Beach is actually a really cool track, other than literally half of the track just being a straightaway. It's through a nice Delfino town, so I really do like that, and you can also see Daisy Cruiser out in the distance when you're on this track, which, that's like a really neat detail. Other than that suspicious rock, this is a very good track. It's also the last appearance of the Cat Quack in the whole series, so enjoy them. Number 17, Peach Gardens. So, this one is very controversial to put DS Peach Gardens this low, because I know that many people love this track. And I really like this track too, but I thought there were 16 tracks that are better. Also, I don't really like how it's the second track in the Lightning Cup, just like how Mario Circuit 3 is in the Lightning Cup. I feel like this isn't intense enough to be in the Lightning Cup, although there are a lot of different paths that you can take. Each lap is like its own different journey. So, I think that's a super cool part of this track, but however, I just don't think that it's as good to be in the Lightning Cup. But this isn't about ranking tracks for cups, but that's just my opinion on this track. And if you think differently, well, just make your own video then. Number 16, DK Jungle Parkway. So, this is one of the 3 DK courses in this whole game, and also, we finally made it to the upper half of this list. So now you're getting to the best of the best games coming up soon. But anyway, I actually really like this track. Many people say that this track is boring and they don't really like it, but I think this track is fine. We have the ferry, there's like the big loop through the jump. The jump is not as exciting as it was in the N64 version because you would pick where you want to land. But that's okay. And there's also that bridge at the end with that little cave, which I think that's pretty interesting. Number 15, DS Delfino Square. So, it's called Delfino Square, but some people call it Delfino Square. But whatever you call it, this has always been one of my favorite retro tracks in the whole game. I think it's the only good retro track that came from Mario Kart DS other than Peach Beach. And I also really like Yoshi Falls. That's not the point. Here you can drive through a city. There's some branching paths. There's even a few shortcuts. And there's that one big bridge at the end with the boost panels. I used to always like it when it goes up, and then you can like trick off it. But now I know it's faster if it's down. And there's all these piñatas, and it's fall because all the leaves on the trees are yellow. And there are so many shortcut opportunities and that cool statue. This is a super fun race course. Number 14, Mushroom Gorge. So, Mushroom Gorge is such a great Mushroom Cup course, and I absolutely adore this one. There's like that huge shortcut that you take at the end by jumping in the gap. And there are a few split paths, like with the mushroom section, and also either 3 mushrooms or the road. This makes sense to be in the Mushroom Cup because it's called Mushroom Gorge. But anyway, aside from bad jokes, this is a very good course. And it's honestly one of the best in this game. Even though I'm ranked at a 14, everybody would love this course. Number 13, Toad's Factory. So, many people would disagree with my Mushroom Cup rankings because I think that some people would like to have Mushroom Gorge and Toad's Factory a little higher, as the Mushroom Cup has peaked at number 13. But, anyway, this is a very good track, especially for the Mushroom Cup, because I don't think anybody expected the Mushroom Cup to peak here. And this is just a super fun. I mean, nobody's ever had the idea of having a factory course, so that's pretty unique on Nintendo's end. I really like the stampers. There's like that one part that at the water, there's like the moving floors and all the crates holding up by the cranes. And there's that one picture of Toad holding the item box. And there's like the area where you can turn and there's all the conveyor belts. And then there's like that one section at the end with all the bulldozers and in the mud. So, and there's also one shortcut opportunity up here, but I have not been able to do it. Trust me, I've tried. I guess I'm not that good at Mario Kart Wii. Well, I'm not as good as I thought I was. Number 12, Waluigi Stadium. So, Waluigi Stadium is one of the GameCube courses, and this is actually a very fun course. It's one of my favorites. And it's also one of the only Waluigi themed courses, and I think it's done a very good job. So, there's a few shortcuts in this course. And there's like this one cool area, which I'm racing through right now, with all these half pipes and piranha plants. And I like how the signs are dancing. This course is especially made for Mario Kart Wii, so I'm so glad that they brought it back from Double Dash. And there's like this one mud shortcut that you can take. There's a bunch of trick ramps and a bunch of fire, so you gotta watch out. This is a tough Banana Cup course. Actually, it's not that tough compared to some others, but I think you know what I mean. Number 11, DK Mountain. I love DK Mountain. It's such a good course, and I'm so glad that they brought it back from Double Dash, along with Waluigi Stadium. So, there's a lot of cool things you can do, like this shortcut where you can jump over the gap. There's always that bridge, which is where the famous Mario Kart meme came from. There's the big cannon, and you can just go down the mountain, go down these trip ramps, and watch out for the rocks. This is just a super fun course, and I'm so glad that Donkey Kong always gets the best courses. Number 10, N64 Bowser's Castle. So, we have officially made it to the top 10. So, Mario Kart Wii has my two favorite Bowser's Castle tracks. This one, and the Mario Kart Wii one. This one is a super fun Bowser's Castle track, and it's also pretty scary. I like the thwomps at the beginning, and for some reason, one of them is in jail. What did he do? Like, did he commit tax evasion or something, or did he sell something that I shouldn't say in a YouTube video? Well, no matter what he did, it was probably bad enough to get locked up. And also, I did not know this, but like, if you drive up to it, it'll like shake or something. That's like really crazy. But anyway, there's a bunch of other stuff, like it's a big hallway, and then there's like some Bowser paintings, and then you like get out. There's a bunch of scary bridges everywhere, and then you go around this turn that goes around a pillar, and then you're outside, and then you have to watch out for the lava. And then there's like this one little shortcut that you can take. And at the beginning, I really like how there's that breathing fire Bowser Dragon. I think that's super cool, and that's the scariness of this place. Number 9, Wii Bowser's Castle. So, we are now done with all the retro tracks in this game, and now it's just the Nitro tracks. So this being the 9th best Nitro track in the game, that's pretty crazy. But anyway, this is probably the best Bowser's Castle in the whole series. So, there's a whole bunch of things that make it really good. Like up here, there's this random billboard with the Dry Bones and the King that says Showtime. I wonder what it's about, but I always thought that was pretty cool. There's all these lava geysers that you have to trick off of. There's a bridge at the beginning, and then there's also a whole bunch of things. There's like a bunch of sharp turns. There's even that Bowser statue, which the Bowser statue can fire hot balls, and you have to avoid the balls. And it's like a really fun stage. This is a very interesting and entertaining Bowser's Castle. It's also quite challenging too, so you kind of have to be skilled if you want to be able to do well in this course. Number 8, Moonview Highway. This is definitely one of the most challenging courses in the whole Mario Kart game. So, this is a very hard course. It's kind of like Toad's Turnpike, if you dump a bunch of steroids all over it. So, the beginning is probably the hardest part, so you probably should have flipped around the beginning and the end. It's really cool how there's a bunch of Mii's that work at the toll booths. There's a bunch of cars, trucks, and even bomb cars. It's very hectic and crazy. This is a super fun course, and it's also really fun to rage at too, with your friends. Number 7, Wario's Gold Mine. So, apparently Wario's so rich that he can own his own gold mine. That is super cool. Also, this is a very challenging racetrack, especially in 150cc. And also, it's only the Flower Cup, although it's the last race in the Flower Cup, so I understand. It feels like a roller coaster with all the mine carts, and there's a whole bunch of dips, and there's even the one back section in the cave. There's also like a really big blind jump that you have to watch out for. There's also a splitting path, but I actually learned that if you take the normal way, it's like a tenth of a second faster than the really cool way when you go through like the rock area. And also, there's like this one area where the minecarts go like from an area, which I've actually followed in and I thought it was like a secret path, but no, it's not. Well, nevertheless, this is super cool. They also remade this one in Mario Kart 8, but I like this one just a little better because here, you can't trick off the minecarts. Number 6, Grumble Volcano. Wow, they actually added hell to Mario Kart. Well, at least that's what the difficulty feels like. It also looks like that. But anyway, this is a super fun and also super challenging course. There's that one Infamous Ultra shortcut, and there's a whole bunch of other crazy shortcuts. The rocks fall down every lap that you go, and it's super scary. And if you play in 150cc, there's always this one part in the cave up here that I always struggle with trying to turn around. It's like really hard, but it's also super fun. This is one of the greatest courses in Mario Kart Wii. No wonder why it's almost at the top 5. Well, I can't wait to see what the top 5 is, although I already know what's in the top 5. But I mean, I can't wait for you to see what the top 5 is. Number 5, Coconut Mall. You guys all know the memes. And also, this is a super good idea for a Mario Kart track. By the way, we've made it to the top 5. But who would have thought driving into a mall would be such a good idea for a Mario Kart track? Well, I don't know who did, but thank you to that Nintendo worker. Well, anyway, this is a super good track, and it's in the Flower Cup, which that's like one of the beginning cups. The Flower Cup is doing so good, and this isn't even the best course in the Flower Cup. Well, this is just a super good course. From the escalators, to the rooms, to going through all the shops, to the ultra shortcut. And also, there's also like all the things that you can see, and there's even all the glitches. And also seeing all your memes on the posters everywhere. This course is an absolute blast to play through. Number 4, DK Summit. This is basically DK Mountain. Well, actually not really, but it's kind of like DK Mountain, but it's winter. And it's a lot better. I mean, not that DK Mountain is bad or anything, but this is super good. And also, this is the best course in the Flower Cup. And the Flower Cup actually is very competitive for having really good courses. I really like how there's the cannon, there's like all the half pipes, driving through the snow, and there's also the big gaps that you have to watch out because otherwise if you fall in, that's really bad. There's the ski lift, there's all the Shy Guys skiing, and there's even that really cool Mario ski statue made of wood. I don't know why it's Donkey Kong. I mean, I don't know why it's not Donkey Kong though. Although they fixed that in Tour, but I think Mario is also super cool. Oh yeah, and did I forget to mention the Mii's, and also that one, like, billboard thing. Oh no, not billboard, the Jumbotron thing at the end. And also, all the fans have been watching you get all the way through. This is an absolute blast to play through. Number 3, Rainbow Road. So we've now made it to the top 3. So, the Wii's version of Rainbow Road is my second favorite Rainbow Road, but only behind the 3DS one. And this is arguably the hardest track in all of the Mario Kart games. Well, it might be the hardest, but I don't know. It is definitely up there as one of the hardest. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a softie, but this is a really hard course, though. Especially if you're playing on something like 150cc or like mirror mode. As this, like, it has so many sharp turns, but not just the sharp turns. Actually, the turns aren't that sharp. But if you're playing automatic mode where you can't drift and you don't turn super sharp, you're gonna fall right off. But there's so many really cool things. Like there's like the big jump at the beginning. I really like the galaxy reference with the starbit part. And then there's also like the big holes part. There's a cannon that launches you, and you also have to be careful on the jumps. And then there's like the 2 paths, and then you make it back. It's a really long track too. So it's definitely worth playing if you have not played. This is many people's favorite course, but also, number 2 and number 1, many people are going to love as well. Number 2, Koopa Cape. This is one of the greatest Mario Kart tracks, in my opinion. So, honestly, I think this is like a top 10 Mario Kart track. I don't know, maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but this is just an awesome track. It's probably some of the best music in the whole game of a track, other than Coconut Mall. It's like really fun to drive through. There's the rushing water. You gotta watch out for all the zappers or you'll become small. They're pretty easy to dodge though, except for the last one because that one's like really hard. There's the rushing waterfall. And also when you finish the course, you can wheelie off and then you'll just go off and die. But that's only if you have a bike. And also there's Koopa Troopa everywhere. It's just a really fun and vibrant course. This is definitely one of the courses that I'm so glad they brought back to 7. And it'll be super cool to see it in Mario Kart 8 as a booster course pass for the DLC. And there's also the rushing water. And you can do this like really cool shortcut. Or you can get stuck like on the rock. And then everyone will pass you. Yeah. And that's what I call pain. So if you've been watching all the way through this video, then you probably know what's gonna come up. But if you just skip through like an absolute nerd, just to see what the number 1 is, well then, I don't know if you're gonna notice, but if since you're watching this right now, you probably know. It's Maple Tree Way. First of all, it's in fall. Fall is not my favorite season, probably because you have to go back to school. It gets cold, although my birthday's in fall. But anyway, fall is definitely the prettiest season of them all, with all the cool leaves. They're coming in different colors. That's what the leaves are. That's like super cool. And speaking of cool, that's when fall gets. The weather becomes cool. But there's so many really cool things about this. There's like this net at the end. There's like a cool shortcut that you can take at the beginning, but you'll need a mushroom for that. There's like the wigglers. You can run through like you can run through the leaf piles, and you'll get something like a star if you're really lucky, or like mushrooms and bananas, which happen common. There's also these really hard turns of like on the tree trunks, which they're actually really hard if you're playing something like 150cc or mirror mode, but they're not that hard if you master it or if you have an inside drift vehicle, like the Flame Rider. I'm sorry, the Flame. Wait, alright. You know what? I give up. I forgot what the name is, but that's not important. This is a super fun track, and I'm so glad it's in the Star Cup. Well, I mean, it's kind of like in Mario Kart 8, how that cup is super good. It's also super good in this game too. I know I've been talking a lot about this course specifically, but that's because it's number 1. So, I really love this course, and this is my favorite course in Mario Kart Wii. And I don't know if it's not many people's favorites, because they probably all like Rainbow Road, Coconut Mall, as those are common favorites, but I want to see what you guys like too. Well, that was a super long video, as my videos are never usually 25 minutes or longer. Unless it's a Super Benji movie. That's my only exception. But anyway, if you agree with my list, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you don't, like and subscribe too, as I will also help with the channel. And if you really hate my list, well, that's not my problem. You should just go make your own list, or, you know, get better opinions, I guess. But anyway, I don't want to sound like a brat or anything, but make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you guys all in the next video.